The year is 1916. World War I is raging, reshaping the political landscape. Amidst the chaos, two diplomats, Mark Sykes of Britain and François-Georges Picot of France, meet in secret. Their mission? To carve up the Ottoman Empire, a vast territory already fracturing under the weight of war. This clandestine meeting gave birth to the Sykes-picot Agreement. The agreement was a blueprint for the division of the Ottomans' Arab territories, promising control of Syria and Lebanon to France, while Britain would secure Iraq, Jordan and the Gulf states. Palestine, a land steeped in history and religious significance, was designated for international control. The Sykes-picot Agreement, however, was not just about redrawing lines on a map. It was a betrayal. The agreement directly contradicted earlier promises made by the British to the Arabs. In the Hussein-McMahon correspondence, the British had pledged support for Arab independence in exchange for their revolt against the Ottoman Empire. This betrayal cut deep, sowing seeds of distrust that would have lasting repercussions. Adding another layer of complexity was the Balfour Declaration of 1917. This declaration expressed British support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. The declaration, made without consulting the Arab population already residing in Palestine, created a tinderbox of conflicting aspirations. The stage was set for decades of conflict. The arbitrary borders, drawn by Sykes and Picot, paid little heed to the existing ethnic and religious groups in the region. This disregard for the social fabric of the Middle East would prove to be a grave miscalculation. The consequences of this oversight continue to reverberate to this day. Thousands of miles away from the deserts of the Middle East, a different kind of storm was brewing in the heart of Europe. Germany, defeated in World War I, found itself humiliated and economically crippled. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, imposed harsh reparations and territorial losses on the nation. This fueled widespread resentment among the German population, creating fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root. It was within this atmosphere of anger and disillusionment that Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party ascended to power. A charismatic orator, Hitler skillfully tapped into the simmering rage of the German people. He offered them a scapegoat for their suffering, the Jews. Hitler blamed the Jews for Germany's economic woes and its defeat in the Great War, fanning the flames of anti-Semitism that had long smoldered within European society. Hitler's rise to power in 1933 marked a dark turning point for Germany and tragically for the world. Once in power, Hitler moved swiftly to consolidate his authority and implement his hateful agenda. His anti-Semitic policies began with discrimination, stripping Jews of their citizenship and barring them from public office. Jewish businesses were boycotted and their property was confiscated. A climate of fear and intimidation settled over Germany. The persecution of Jews in Germany escalated dramatically on the night of November 9, 1938, an event that would forever be etched in history as Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. Nazi paramilitary forces and enraged mobs unleashed a wave of violence against Jewish communities across Germany and Austria. Synagogues were burned, businesses were ransacked, and Jewish homes were vandalized. Thousands of Jews were arrested and sent to concentration camps. Kristallnacht marked a chilling turning point, shattering any illusions about the true nature of the Nazi regime. It was a terrifying glimpse into the horrors that awaited Europe's Jews. As World War II engulfed Europe, Hitler's obsession with exterminating the Jews intensified. What began as persecution morphed into a systematic campaign of genocide. The Nazis established a network of extermination camps designed specifically for mass murder. Jews from across German-occupied Europe were rounded up and transported in cattle cars to these camps. At Auschwitz-Birkenau, Treblinka, Sobibor, and other sites of unimaginable cruelty, millions were gassed, shot, or worked to death. The Holocaust stands as a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity. The rise of Nazi persecution in Europe had profound implications for the Middle East. As Jews faced increasing persecution at the hands of the Nazi regime, many sought refuge abroad. Palestine, despite the escalating tensions between the Jewish and Arab populations, became a destination for Jewish immigrants seeking safety and a homeland. This influx of Jewish immigrants, however, only served to exacerbate the existing tensions in the region. The British, caught between their commitments to both the Arabs and the Jews, found themselves increasingly unable to manage the situation. Their policies, often contradictory and driven by competing interests, further fueled the flames of conflict. After World War II, with the horrors of the Holocaust still fresh in the world's consciousness, the British mandate in Palestine ended. The stage was set for the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, a conflict that would have lasting consequences for the region and its people. The Sykes-picot Agreement and the horrors of the Holocaust are stark reminders of the enduring impact of history on the present. They demonstrate how decisions made in distant capitals, often without the consent or even the knowledge of the people most affected, can reverberate across generations. These events underscore the importance of understanding the historical context of current conflicts, the dangers of exclusionary diplomacy, and the need for inclusive solutions that address the needs and aspirations of all parties involved. They serve as a sobering reminder that the pursuit of peace and justice demands a commitment to dialogue, understanding, and a shared responsibility for building a better future.